Welcome into Drums by Liz. This is a Bossa Nova by request, okay? I'm going to break it down, so make sure you go to the long version lesson. Welcome into Drums by Liz. This was a request to do a little breakdown on a Bossa Nova. Okay, I'm flattered that you would ask me to do this. I love Latin drumming, but there's way better Latin drummers out there than me. Okay, but I can definitely walk you through all of this. Okay, if you can think of it this way, we're going to try to coordinate our footwork first with our right hand. Okay, and then we're going to work on all of those different left notes that we have to be able to, coordinate and be able to play. Okay, I have it kind of broken down here in a logical way. I can show some music for everybody. Okay, so what we're going to do, I will start with this pattern and break it down for you. It's a 2-bar phrase, a Bossa Nova, but then really study those other 4 coordination exercises. A, B, C, and D, okay? Because that is what you have to coordinate. We have to kind of set our feet in motion, set the right hand in motion, and then we figure out all our coordinations with being able to play that left hand, okay? And a lot of times it's helpful to know where it lands on a downbeat, on an upbeat. Oh, is it with the bass, with the hi-hat, all of that sort of thing, okay? It's helpful for us, okay? All right, so how I normally start this is the footwork. Okay, we start, remember, your hi-hat foot is in this position where you're up on your toe, and when you first begin, your feet shift, okay? You drop to the heel on the left, but your bass drum is gonna play at the same time. So then it turns to an open hi-hat note. It's kind of like when we do what I call like a little quick opening, right? A punch effect, I sometimes refer to it as. So those are good things to be able to do with either hand, okay? So, but again, that's not in this necessarily, okay? So we have to coordinate that. We get our footwork right on beat 1. On beat 2, we're gonna just play the hi-hat note. So your hi-hat has to go like heel, toe, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So feel free to just start with that, right? We're not left-footed, most of us. That's the worst player on the team. So work with it right off the bat. Try to set that into a motion so that you can get that into its own pattern and you forget about it. That's where the saying comes, set it and forget it, okay? So again, now we're doing then the bass note with the heel. So heel and toe and heel and toe and. Now, I don't have all the bass notes in here yet, but this is the watered down version. This is just beat 1 and beat 2, beat 3, and beat 4. After we play the hi-hat on 2 and 4, so you're in this position, you're playing beat 1 on the heel, and then you come up to the toe, stay up on that toe, and still maybe even be coming forward as you play the and of 2 and the and of 4 on your bass drum. Okay, so then it's heel and toe up, heel and toe up, When you're playing that and, I'm saying the word up, but that's a way to hold it there on the toe. And then what do? We're on that up note, and then we drive both of the feet simultaneously back to beat 1 or 3. What is beat 1 or 3? It's the heel note with a bass note. So heel and toe and heel and toe and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and. How I teach this is I start on the second measure, okay, because it's a lot easier to feel a cross stick like right off the bat on beat 2. That's going to almost feel rock oriented to us, okay? And then we have the and of 3 that has to come in. The first measure, we've got beat 1, the and of 2, and beat 4 on our cross stick. Notice how a lot of those notes are with the bass notes, with a bass note. Okay, so that first measure is much more difficult, okay? So again, we'll start on the second measure. So what are your left hand notes? It's going to be beat 2 and the and of 3. So again, get your feet going. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 4. How I tell students to remember this one is the first one is easy because it falls with the hi-hat note. The left hand is with the left foot, and it feels good on beat 2 there. So let's just revolve it. 1 and 2 and. So 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 2 and. Okay, I feel pretty good about that. It feels pretty natural and normal. Let's try to hit the and, okay? This could be, you could think of it as the and of 1, or you could think of it as the and of 3, okay? So we'll go right away and count it as the and of 3. We'll keep beat 2 in there, okay? Now when you're playing this one, you want to make sure that you hear the hi-hat note after you hear your cross stick, okay? That way you know it's in the right pattern, okay? It didn't jump a beat or anything crazy on us, okay? Because that will happen. Your feet will try to compensate, but you have to kind of, have good limb separation. Be able to separate your legs from your arms, okay? All right, so now we're on the and of 1 or the and of 3. So 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 4. Notice how it's after that note, right? We'll kind of make note of that. So it's 3 and 4. Oh, kind of watch for that. That helps you to learn that, okay? So down below here, we just went through the downbeat of 2 and then the and of 3, which would be exercise C, okay? So you just did A to C. These are all separated out, different patterns that we have to do up within the Bossa Nova, okay? So again, that second measure, 1 and 2 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and even that just gives it a nice little Latin feel. Sometimes we can play Latin-ish sounding grooves too. Maybe in a slower ballad or something like that. That would be appropriate for us, okay? I'd probably do a few more little embellishments, but that would work. Okay, so now, beat 1 of the Bossa Nova, we have to come right in with the bass note, and then the and of 2 is with a bass note also. So I'll play that first measure for you so you can hear it. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. Okay, so again, we've learned a downbeat of 2. We have to now learn a downbeat of 1. And we've got to learn the and of 2. Oh, coincidentally, what is that? That's exercise B here and D. Okay? So, again, use that music to kind of help you, right? And get all these coordinations going. Okay, so then we have those notes that we have to figure out, okay, and get them in the right spot. So let's practice just the downbeat. So it's going to be with the bass drum. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and 3 try that upbeat of 2, okay? Because that's the next cross stick we'll have to hit in the first measure. 1 and 2 and 1 and again, maybe use that hi-hat for where you are in the measure to help you. Oh, I'm going to hear that before I play my cross stick. So 1 and 2 and 1 and again, it's with that bass note, okay? When we get, so we just practiced that downbeat and then the upbeat of the and of 2, okay? We get to go back to beat 4, which feels just like beat 2 in the second measure. It's one of these exercises here. It's the first one, A there, okay? So we put it all together. Once you get all these coordinations down below, and I would tell you to combo all of that to create some different ideas. You put everything together, and we come back into the Bossa Nova. I got to make a quick exit because my student just rolled in, but at least I was able to get that down for you. It was a little request. Playing Latin is awesome. If you can discipline yourself to learn this, this takes you far skill-wise. Okay, everybody, I'll see you in a week. Take care.